Hello, I'm Kat. Today I'm going to show you a stretch that can help to release your hips, also the fronts of your thighs, your low back. There's a space in between your hip bone at the top here and where your femur begins, the greater trochanter of your thigh bone here. There's a space that's just a little bit meaty right here. So that's the part we're going to target because it can actually help to release tension around your quads all the way down to your knees because of this tension band of fascia that you have on the side of your thigh. So releasing in this area can help to release all of this, can help to release all of this, and affect a lot of things. Now, we want to start by gathering a couple of tools. Just a regular towel or like a beach towel would work. Or if you have a pool noodle, this might be a little bit too firm. The great thing about a towel is that you can roll it up if you want more, and you can unroll it if you want less. And that's going to be depending on how you feel. The other thing is maybe a pillow to rest your head. So we're going to lie on our sides, placing, I'm going to use the towel because I think the pool noodle's too much for me. So we're going to roll up the towel, and I'm going to lie on my side and land it into this meaty space between the top of my hip bone and where the thigh bone starts. And then just let yourself come down, softly land, and start to relax. Now you might find that there's some pulling in your hips or your low back. So that's when you would grab another pillow or a towel or something and just place it between your knees here to alleviate that pull. And let yourself soften. And with myofascial stretching, you want to soften here for at least 5 minutes. So really tuning in is important, because if there are any tension areas, anything's really still grabbing and pulling during the whole 5 minutes, you're going to be sore later. So make sure to scan through your body. Ask yourself, am I fully relaxing here? If you did notice that the towel was too much at first, then just unroll it a little bit. Make it a little bit smaller so that your body can relax around it. Keep your knees bent as much as you need to so that you're not having to really work to balance instead of falling forward or backwards. Find a comfortable place to rest your head, and then tune in. Let your neck muscles relax. Let your shoulders soften. Start to slow down your breathing, inhaling and exhaling slowly. And might bring your focus down to where your hips are, down to the leg muscles, and just check in. Can I soften a little bit more there? Am I still holding on to anything? And bring awareness to the space where that rolled towel or that pool noodle is. And see if you can feel those tissues starting to let go. Anywhere in that space or on the side of your thigh muscle, in your hips, in your low back. Bringing your focus to that area, just see if you can notice any changes. Now take 5 more good breaths here, inhaling and exhaling slowly. If you feel like you want to stay on one side longer, you can. Otherwise, use the top hand pressing in front of you to lift yourself up to a seat, and we're going to switch sides. So bring your tools, whatever you used, to the opposite side, or you could just turn your body to the other side. Roll up the towel as much as you want, or using the pool noodle, whatever you're using. As you lay yourself down on this side, check in right away. Notice if there's any tension pulling, any screaming happening in your low back, your hips. If you need something between your knees, take care of that. And then let yourself soften onto the other side. And you might notice right away, this feels different from the first side. That's perfectly fine. We're not as symmetrical as we're led to believe. We do different things, like if you think about driving, you're pressing forward with your right leg a lot more than you are with your left leg. So we do things differently all day, and it might feel a lot different here. So again, we're gonna just keep your knees bent as much as you need to so you don't feel like you're having to work to not fall backwards or forwards. Start to soften throughout the body and scan through, noticing, am I holding tension anywhere? Can I let that go? Can I release a little bit more? Let yourself soften. And the reason that we hold these releases so long is because the fascial system is a very protective system. And in order for it to release, it needs to feel safe. So we have to give it some time. But also the mechanics of it, your fascial system is made up of 3 main components. Elastin is just like elastic, so it releases right away. If I was foam rolling, it would release right away, but it would be a temporary result. So any kind of rolling and moving, massaging motion, it's a temporary result. And the second component is collagen, which takes about 2 minutes to release what we think of as adhesions, where the muscles have become glued together. And so about 2 minutes in, you get the collagen to let go. And then it takes 5 minutes before your body starts sending in messenger molecules to like anti-inflammatories, red blood flow, things like that, to really get the hydration and the flow back to that area that was tight. And so we really want to wait for that 5-minute mark, letting the body soften and relax for an entire 5 minutes if you can. And during this time, keep paying attention to whether you're tightening anywhere. Let yourself soften. Scanning through, maybe even starting at the head. Are my neck muscles relaxed? Are my shoulders relaxed? Have I slowed my breathing down? Checking in with your hips, thighs, legs. Could I relax even more here? If I bring my attention to the area that's being released on top of the towel, can I feel the release happening? Can I feel myself softening here? Inhaling and exhaling slowly. See if you can keep your attention inside your body, noticing any sensations. Be sure you're not bracing anywhere. Getting this fluidity back to tightened muscles really helps with the springiness, the energy that we'll feel in these muscles. So if you ever feel fatigued, if you feel like you don't have the range that you used to, stretching seems more painful, then this myofascial work can be really helpful for you. I also wanted to mention that in contrast to foam rolling or massage, we're moving much quicker, so we're only getting that elastic component to release. And also with foam rolling, it can be very painful, and so your body's tendency is to tense up against it. And so you're not really getting a release to happen there. And that can be painful for the muscles, so you might not even want to do it, right? So if you take this lighter approach, this more gentle approach, and you actually do the work, just putting in a little bit of time for the release to happen, you're going to get a longer lasting result. Just experiment with it. See what happens for you. Be willing to explore. And go ahead and take 5 more good breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling slowly. Now, if your body says, I'd like to stay here longer, honor that. Give yourself a couple more minutes. But otherwise, you can use your top hand to press into the floor in front of you and lift yourself up. So that was a fairly intense stretch for the sides of the legs. You might feel like there's another stretch in order to help you feel better before you go about your day. Sometimes maybe just a gentle twist. But listen to your body, tune in and see what your intuition says. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me.